Good morning, everybody. Executive Board, Friday, May 29, 2026, is going to come to order. Could you do a roll call, please? Make sure we have a quorum.
Michael Zaslow.
Here.
Olga Wolkenstein. Here. Flora Simpson. Here. Julia Silberger.
Here.
Les Rifkin. Joyce Reese.
Yes.
Bobby Levin.
Here.
Jean Comas.
Here.
Duke Horton.
Here.
Richard Handelsman.
Here.
David Furness.
Here.
Ruth Reese.
Present.
Nancy DelGiulis. Nancy? Go Nancy. Maureen Debegar.
I'm here.
Marilyn Curtis. Go Marilyn. Dennis Burrows.
Yeah.
Eve Black.
Here.
Diane Andelman. Tony Burrows.
Yes.
David Boaz.
Here.
John Timmerman.
Here.
Jerry is not here unless he's by phone.
No.
Okay. Bruce? No. Stuart Richmond.
Here.
Mary Jane.
Here.
Fausto.
We are here.
Okay, so you have, everybody here on that page, you have one absent of the
Okay.
committee members.
But we have 13 board members, so.
All right?
We're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, I need a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion.
Motion made by Ruth, seconded by Richard. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Any corrections to the minutes? Is John's name spelled correctly? Okay, good. Good. Hearing no corrections, the minutes will be accepted as presented. Donald had to step out for a minute. He will be back. So, why don't we start with a financial report from our treasurer?
I'm pretty much going to repeat what was said at the Finance Committee, which met on Wednesday. We went through all of our different accounts, the 4 accounts that we have with Truist, and the total came to $15,891,976.85, and that'll be important to remember for other things that are going to come up in the meeting. We also looked at the AR aging, that is, associations that are not up to date. We're happy to say that our 90-day lateness is almost 0 at this point. And most of our associations are doing very well with making their quarterly payments on time. The other thing that we talked about briefly was being financially prepared for a hurricane. And I talked about several things that associations could be doing, just to be sure. Most of all, talk to your management company, make sure that your insurance premium is up to date. Make sure that you have money in your accounts to meet the deductible, if heaven forbid something does happen, okay? And because we don't know if ATMs will be working, it's a good idea to have cash on hand. The same kind of thing you would say to unit owners, but we need to think of it as an association and as a UCO issue as well, okay? I have a lot of other suggestions that I have made a list of, and places you can contact if you want to. For anybody who else is, a little bit concerned about the finances in their association. But those were the 3 main things that we talked about at the finance meeting. Okay. That's it.
Marilyn Curtis came in.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Jo.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for our treasurer? I'll give you the South Canal is down to their punch list. Donald has been going around once a week, and whatever is not being done, he makes sure that they come back and finish. Fence is being installed. They did part of it on the west side, now the east side is being done. There will be a guardrail put up in the Wellington area to prevent people that can't see or have limited mobility from going into the lake. You know, we don't want anybody to get hurt, but we have a vendor, and that will be installed shortly to prevent, like I said, people going in. The Plymouth Laundry, you've seen Donald's report, you should have all seen it. The epoxy floor is in, the washing machines and the dryers are in, they're waiting for the gas company to come in and hook them up. The lighting has been installed. The building is going to be pressure washed within the next couple of days, and then the building and the roof, and then the building will be painted. And today I understand the fencing is going up between Plymouth and the back of there, and I think some shrubs or something to make it more decorative. There is, I'll talk about the North Canal. The North Canal, we've been working on getting bids. Our engineer came up with four bids. There was an opening by the bids committee. We went from 4 to 2, and then the bids committee chose one specific vendor to do the North Canal. And you're going to be voting on that a little bit later on during this meeting. It's a project that needs to be done. Okay, the most important thing that we have to keep in mind that when the canal was originally installed, it was made to retain water. It was when it rained, it was supposed to go in the canal and sit there and eventually trickle down. When, I believe it was 1996, when they signed the reclaimed water, we now have 750,000 gallons of water a day being pumped across that canal and to go into our lakes, which has created a situation where silt and dirt has limited the depth and the width of the canal. So the canal now must move water. So there can be no obstructions. It's got to be able to move water. And nothing's been done there for 50 years, so no different than the South Canal. It's very, very important. I'm going to, as a president's report, I'm going to give you, I'm sure you've all heard, we had a situation 2 weeks ago in the office. Gentleman, an individual came in with an expired ID and would not take no for an answer, got rambunctious. I was called, Donald heard the ruckus, he came in, and the next thing I know, we had a fist fight in there. And 7 police cars were there, 1 ambulance, people got hurt. I felt bad for Miss Ruth because she got like the brunt of it. 900 pounds fell down on top of her.
Oh, not
Yeah.
that much.
All right, 850 pounds. Well, between the 3 of us and the chair and the wall, I'm sure we're close to 900 pounds.
John did not fall. I mean,
No, I know, thank God.
just you and Donald was enough.
All right, 550. All right, so anyway, just to dispel the situation, we put some security measures into place. We now have a security guard there. We've added some cameras so that we have a guard there at whatever hours the office is open. Whoever sits at that front desk, you now have a pleasant guard. And believe it or not, in week 2, we had 3 instances where individuals had to be asked to leave. Okay? Unfortunately, the majority of it is renters, yes.
Fausto, was this person originally arrested for assault or
No.
attempted assault?
No, it was a he said, she said, And if the way that the police officer, the sheriff said, if Donald presses charges and the other guy presses charges, they were both going to jail. So, that's why I mean, you could hear the conversation that we had where he was screaming and we were talking. And he just, what can I tell you? The person was, it's an individual that has some issues, okay? And the only thing I could tell you is it's not gonna happen again.
And I assume this was an owner and not a renter?
It's a renter,
A renter?
it's a renter.
Okay.
And who's at fault? No,
The owner.
the owner did not give the person a new lease, okay? And now, even after he came in the next day to talk to Donald and myself, wanted to know what was going on, we told him, you gotta give, oh yeah, I gave him a new lease. He gave him a lease starting June 1st.
Oh, jeez.
So the guy was even more upset when he came here and he couldn't get an ID.
Yeah.
So thank God that Eva was aware of the situation and she gave him a temporary ID, because she can't, 3 weeks out, she's not going to be able to get an ID. So she gave him a temporary ID for the 14 days, so when he comes back this week, he'll be able to get a regular ID. But it's very important that everybody does their jobs. And the specific unit owner couldn't be contacted because he lives in a motorhome and he's traveling throughout the country. So compound one thing after another, something very stupid turns into a major thing. We'll do some officer reports. Go ahead, John. Flip this way.
Good morning, it's working.
Good.
Appreciate everybody coming out today. I don't have too much. I'm gonna piggyback on Fausto about the office. We're looking for volunteers. I got 2 applications yesterday. And we're still looking for more volunteers at the barcode desk, because 2 of the volunteers go back to New York and New Jersey for the summer, and they won't be back. So we're looking for volunteers. As far as the office, yes, I'd say for myself and Fausto and Donald and the rest of the officers have implemented some changes. They are working. Security guard is one. We implemented things at the barcode desk, that people have to be escorted to the different offices if they want to go see Fausto, they want to go see Donald, and it's working very well. If the receptionist needs a photocopy, I'm behind the barcode desk. Dave is always available to make copies or give something to Erica. But these policies that we implemented were written up and then approved by Donald and the other officers, and it seems to be working. Very peaceful in the office now, and that's the way we want to keep it. The goal there is to get people in and out as fast as possible. Less conversation with them is the best. We're checking the dates on the IDs. If they're an agitator, I mean, I can spot them a mile away, but I just look at the security guard and give her a thumbs up, and she stands up and she asks them to leave, and that's the way it's going to be. We do have a lot of agitators in Century Village, but everything seems to be working good the last 2 weeks, and we're very happy with everything that's been implemented. Everybody's accepted these changes, including myself. You know, I can't be on the floor, I can be behind the barcode desk, and if they need me on the floor, then I'll step out to help out. Volunteers, very important. That's what makes this village good. As you see, UCO is all volunteers, and we need more. And different committees also, you know, if you're interested in a committee, just come to one of the committee meetings and sit in and see if you fit in, or you can add some input to it, and then you can always ask to be on the committee. That's another important role for this, you know, residents here, owners. Really, that's about all I have for today. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, you know, I'm always at the office 5 days a week, 8 in the morning to 12 o'clock, so I'm available to talk to anybody. And that's about it.
Stuart.
Thank you again.
One of the things that we pride ourselves at UCO is that we have numerous ways to communicate what is going on in the village with the residents. You have the television program, you have the printed materials that are handed out, you have publications all over the counters, and when you come in, there's 2 big signs that tell you what you need when you want to get a barcode. The problem is that no matter what you do and how often you say it, people are not going to listen, and they're not going to read, and they're going to come in and with the 2 big signs facing them right in their face when you come in, and it says what you need in order to get a barcode. They don't have the materials, and they have to go back out to the car and get the stuff and bring it in. So it's somewhat of a losing battle, but you have to do what you think is right, and that's what we're doing in UCO. And I noticed in the UCO television news, there was somebody asked a question about how come we don't have bumpers on the highway around, and we have had this discussion over and over and over again, that the police department and the fire department do not want to allow us to do that, and they still ask the same questions. So education is important. We are trying to educate people over and over again. And just to go back a little bit, the man that started the issue in the office, I was sitting right in front, and when he walked in, he asked the girl at the front desk a question, and I stood up and I wanted to help him, and he looked at me and he said, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her." And I knew immediately that we were going to have a problem. He couldn't get the answer that he wanted, so he went outside and he talked to somebody in the car, and then he came back angry, and that's when everything started, because he refused to listen to what we were telling him, and and this is the way he conducted himself. Anyway, this is what you live with. You have to take it with a grain of salt, take a deep breath, and just move on to the next person. And so I'm moving on to the next vice president.
Bruce, you're up.
It's good to be here. Welcome all of you that have come, that care about this community. First of all, just to reflect a little bit on the last 2 weeks, I was witness to one situation in which the security guard's presence and actions immediately quieted the situation. There's something to be said about having a uniform there, and I'm glad that that move was made. Another thing I'm glad for is when I can remind residents while I'm fixing decals that we are all volunteers. That makes a difference, because if we were being paid to do this, there might be a little bit more room for concern or complaint. This week I did my quadrant sweep, I should say, and I was startled at the number of people that don't understand how to handle trash. My next article in July will review the policies for handling the dumpsters, for using them, for closing doors or lids. In one neighborhood, there was a bike that was totally overgrown with grass. It wasn't a rack. I'm not quite sure how that's going to be rectified. I also noted that there were a couple of units that had pods in the parking areas. I immediately took pictures. I reported them to my boss, Donald, and he said it's taken care of. They don't get through the gate unless they have had association permission. So just keep that in mind. You can give permission, but it has to be at least by the president or also by the board. Otherwise, the security gate would not give them entrance. By the way, just keep in mind that Uncle Sam is watching. Take care of your neighborhood, your association, and your quadrant. Otherwise, I may take a picture and give it to Donald, and he'll say it's okay. Nevertheless, that's going on. That's all I have to say.
Tony, you have anything?
I just want to, and I know everybody in this room knows this, but I just want to remind you to be helpful to the residents around, because they do not seem to know the difference between UCO and WPRF. And if you can help direct anybody who is confused where they should go, because they seem to think everything goes to the UCO office, and we all know that that's not true. But you are all a well-oiled machine in here, and you know who, and if you can help, that would be great. That's all I'd like to say.
Go ahead, John.
Just piggybacking on what she mentioned, and I brought it up at the delegate assembly before, about bulletin boards, the association's job. As far as I'm concerned, a bulletin board is a communication board. People come into the office, they don't even know who their board members are. Board members' name should be on the bulletin board. There should be an emergency contact number in case somebody gets locked out and needs an emergency key. You should have the trash schedule up there. You should have the budget up there. And just so whatever basic rules you have, if you want to post those. But residents are moving in and they have no clue. They think UCO's everything. And it stems from the board. I do a meet and greet. I give them the new certificate, I welcome them. I take 7 or 8 minutes out of my schedule and I walk the property with them. And I tell them, here's your barcode paperwork, this is where you go. You go to the clubhouse for your ID, and it makes their life, and they're so happy. And it just takes a couple of minutes. Do I think owners should be doing it? Owners could do it as well. But it starts with the board. If the board ain't doing their job, it just trickles down the line, and we get them coming into the office, and they're like, they have no idea what to do. You know, they get a leasing, and they're standing like this, and some of them don't even have keys for the mailbox. You have to get that from the owner. And that's not the board's job. And the same thing with the realtors. The realtors hand over keys, and they don't even have all the keys. So it all goes back to the board and the owners, and that's all I have to say.
Have some old, new business. Over the last several years, people have been asking that our forms, delegates forms, and forms for renters, for purchases, be available online. They are now available online. They've also, because people like to chicken scratch, and we don't understand the language that they have, none of us went to hieroglyphic school, we are now making those interactive. You're going to be able to fill them in online and then print them. So whatever information you give us will be legible by whoever has to interpret it. And if anybody wants to see hieroglyphics, we have books of it. So we just added that specific thing. And also, John brought up it just at the offices yesterday, for people that have a problem with Breeze Line, we have put together a form. So if somebody comes into the office, it's going to be in the paper, there'll be some given out next Friday. Somebody comes into the office and they have a problem with Breeze Line, it's a little like questionnaire form, and it gives us the ability to find out exactly what your problem is. And we will keep a record of those so that we're aware.
Fausto,
Yeah.
just to clarify, those forms are available online, but they do
They are.
need,
They are available online.
okay, but they do need to be submitted personally.
Right. All those forms, the forms, still, nothing has changed as far as submission. You can just type it in online to make it easier so we can read your handwriting. So the days of transposing numbers or missing a number that we can't make out, it should make it a lot easier for us if we have to get in touch. Because you'll be surprised how many people give us the wrong email address or the wrong telephone number, the wrong area code. So, and it makes somebody's life, usually Donald's, when we try to get a hold of somebody, that they gave us a number that's not. Yesterday we had somebody, he called 3 numbers, all 3 numbers one was disconnected. Bum numbers. Okay. So, we're gonna go on, does anybody have any questions pertaining to that? Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the new business, and I'm gonna turn it over to Donald.
Morning, everyone. We have an important piece of business today. Before you, there is a proposal from JFB Construction. The proposal is for $1,450,354.56. So approximately 10% of our infrastructure reserve, which is $15 million. So it's no small thing. This was I thought it was a very clean and transparent bidding process. I was very happy with the way our project manager engineer handled it, Derek. We had 4 bids, sealed bids. They were opened at the UCO office. It was recorded with video, whole 9 yards. We eventually came to a recommendation for JFB. They were the low bid. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on this. Go ahead, Richard.
I move that we accept the bid as presented for the restoration of the North Canal.
Excellent. Is there a second?
I second.
Multiple seconds. Okay, we're in discussion. We're inside a motion. Happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Richard.
Just that Derek, the engineer who was the interface for us, said that although this was a little big, the company has done work here, he recommended them, and we went with it.
Good. Bobby, go.
I preface my remarks by saying I understand nothing about engineering, but I was,
That's why we hired an engineer.
yeah, but my question may seem ridiculous,
It
but
won't.
for my own edification. Why do you think the discrepancy between the bids was so wide?
Bobby, that's a good question, and there was a wide discrepancy. Fausto noticed it as well. There's really no knowing the exact reason. I do think in some cases when you bid out jobs like this, you get what's called a go-away bid. In other words, I got too much on my hands, you're a pain in the ass, and I'm just going to give, I'm not going to say no, I don't care to bid. So you give a high bid, but don't seal me on that. There could be any number of
I thought
reasons.
that might be.
As Derek mentioned, some companies have more in-house staff and crews than others. Some of them are bidding out everything to subcontractors, and that will raise the price because everybody makes money every bid along the line. So those are 2 possible reasons. What matters is we expect our vendors to bring their best and last bid when that day comes. Don't bid high and expect us to call you back because we won't.
Donald,
Yes.
another thought I had is some of these bids, at least one of them, probably came in, and the bid came in by the book. There was very little on-site examination of the work that needed to be done.
Actually, that's not the case, Bruce.
Okay.
All 4 vendors came to the site and visited
Good.
personally
Okay.
with the engineer, and I documented that with photographs.
Good.
Okay? Yeah, hi, Dave.
All I can say is, you know, I've been very happy about what the board has done, what you have done to protect the community from possible flooding in a hurricane. It's been since these canals were first built that we haven't cleaned them out.
That's
So
correct.
you know how things grow here. And I can't think of a better expenditure of money right now for the community than clearing the canals.
And Dave, you've heard me whining about this since 2017.
Yeah.
So we're finally getting it done, and I think that's an important point for everyone to know. The reason for these 2 jobs, North and South Canals, are flood control. We're living in a Florida swampland. And they say, I bought a piece of Florida swamp. Well, we did. What keeps us dry are those waterways, and particularly those canals. So with the added issue over at on the North Canal is, since 2006, we've been accepting reclaimed water, which changed what used to be a ditch into a horizontal moving canal. It wasn't designed to do that. Now it will be. Over on South Canal, another complication, Reflection Bay, that which really got this ball rolling because we had to get that South Canal fixed. Just this past week, because we finished South Canal, they opened the floodgates at Reflection Bay. So you walk by it every day, Dave, I'm sure you noticed
Yeah.
it was nearly tippy top, and then they opened the floodgates, and for almost a week, the water flowed in our direction, worked perfectly, went right over the secondary weir, went down to South Lagoon, hung a left, and went into Lake Worth Drainage District. Perfect.
Yep.
And now if you look, everything's evened out. That big lake on their side has gone down quite a bit, and ours is evened out. So it's working. Thank God for engineers. Anybody else? Yeah.
Just
Go ahead,
also,
Mike.
just also to bring to light, and also a thank you to Yuko as well, the amount of work that took to get to this point, from acquiring the certificates to moving past that stage through this process. So there, just to acknowledge, there have been a lot of parts in play here before this even comes
Yeah,
to
that was
us.
a good thing too, Michael. This North Canal project forced us to obtain ownership of the canal. We didn't own it. So glad to see that happen as well. That took a bit of doing, and it was mostly lawyer work. Anybody else?
Move to vote?
Wait, Dennis has something.
Ed,
What about those houses on the north side, where they're in your drainage system? Are we thinking about that?
I'm glad you brought that up, Dennis. Next Friday, you're going to have a presentation from the planner for that project. That's Victoria Gardens, just on the other side of North Canal, opposite Norwood section. His name is Josh Nichols. He's going to give a presentation. Our engineer, who's going to be there to present for the construction project, will also be asking him questions, and you guys can answer as well. My understanding is 100% of their stormwater is intended to drain into North Canal. Now, most on the, between all of us, we want that water. That's right. That's irrigation water. But there needs to be a drainage agreement. That's already been sent to our attorney, who's going to work with their attorney. I don't think anything's come of it of late, but there will be some kind of drainage easement and a maintenance agreement, similar to what we had to do with Reflection Bay, in a much smaller scale, obviously. So you'll see more information about that next Friday. Go ahead, Dave.
So everybody understands, there's no saying that UCO or any of the, whatever, that we have to accept the low bid.
Right.
It could have been the high bid. The engineer that we hired actually did recommend this company.
Yep.
They just happened to be the low bidder.
Now, if he had recommended the high bidder, I don't know if we would have been that as compliant. But
Never
it just kind of worked
But
out.
just that we're not required to
No, we're
accept the low bid.
All right, guys, ready to vote? Wait, Flo, go.
Donald, I know you know more about these different contracts, and you are the one that I am looking for to get our direction from. You are comfortable with this company, not just because our engineer recommended?
I'll tell you this, Flo. I am very comfortable with this engineer project manager. I trust him.
Flo, I think what you're hinting at, once it goes through the process,
Yeah.
you guys approve it, and next Friday it gets approved, a contract will be written up, and it will go to our attorney to make sure that all the dots are where they're supposed to be. And once the attorney says it's a good contract, then I'll sign it. So we're not doing this on our own. That's your question, right?
Right.
All right, guys, what do you say? You ready?
Let's do it.
All in favor of the motion? Roll call vote, please.
Okay. Michael Zaslow,
Yes.
Olga Wolkenstein,
Yes.
Flora Simpson,
Yes.
Julia Silberger,
Yes.
Les Rifkin is not here, he never came in, right? Okay. Joyce Reese.
Yes.
Bobby Levin.
Yes.
Jean Comas.
Yes.
Duke Horton.
Yes.
Richard Handelsman.
Yes.
David Furness.
Yes.
Ruth Dries.
Yes.
Nancy Del Juiz, did she come in?
Not
No,
yet.
she's still not here, okay. Maureen Debiger.
Yes.
Marilyn Curtis.
Yes.
Dennis Burrows.
Yes.
Eve Black.
Yes.
Diane Andelman.
It's not here.
She's not here either, okay. And Tony Burrows, yes. David Boaz.
Yes.
John Timmerman.
Yes.
Bruce Stutzman,
Bruce, yes.
Stuart Richmond,
Yes.
Mary Jane
Yes.
Fausto.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, sir.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now we can release the paper.
Not yet.
He's talking about the web.
No, in my article for the newspaper this month, I jumped the gun and said that the officers committee and the executive board approved this proposal. So I said, I did a very rare stop the presses until that actually happens. I don't want people to think I'm,
Second power.
yeah, exactly.
Nobody knew the difference.
Do we have any other new business? Go ahead.
I have a question about the water main break over by Canterbury the other night.
First I'm hearing of it.
Huh?
Why didn't you call me?
When?
And that was the water main break.
I didn't know it was even a water main break, so I went down to my neighbors and said, "You have water?" And she goes, "Oh, the water main broke over there."
Oh,
I'm
my.
like, "Oh, okay."
Somebody called the water company?
Huh? I
So-
did,
You did?
I did,
Good job.
but I didn't get any answer from them, they didn't know.
A member of the executive board made an executive decision. Excellent.
Okay. Anything else? Do we have any other new business?
I'm sorry, do we know why, did that have anything to
didn't
do
know
with
about
the
it.
canal?
No.
I don't think so, no.
You don't, okay. That was my question, thank you.
If we have no, do we have anything for the good of the order? So, make sure you, those of you that are delegates, make sure you come to delegate assembly next week. So you get to vote on this project. Yes, David?
And not to forget that if you need changes done or are submitting a new form, you have to have that at the UCO office by noon this coming Wednesday.
David, who may submit that?
Pardon me?
Who may submit that, those changes? Any board member or just the president?
No, that's your board's decision. I
Yeah,
can't make that
That's what I
decision
thought
for
too,
you.
yeah.
Should be signed by the president with your corporate seal on there, so at least two people know that
Exactly.
they've looked at that list.
Should David put that out on, his blog so other people could know?
About what?
If you have any change, it should be,
We've been saying that for the last 10
well,
years,
you know,
folks.
yeah, we old, so,
But you know what?
maybe we need to do it again.
I've got about a quarter page
I'm old.
on my report. I'll put it in. Sure. Done.
No problem. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. David, seconded by Maureen. Thank you, everybody.